me bring you a little closer. We have decided on her name. Am I having a home birth? What are you doing to prep for birth this time around, physically and mentally? How is Sage adapting, knowing that there is going to be a baby soon? Any regressions? What clothing have you been loving so far this pregnancy? How are you prepping for the 4th trimester? Anything that you'll do differently? Am I having a plant-based pregnancy again this time? Not the food, just all over this ball. I've been using this ball as my chair, like for dinner and everything. So it's at the dining room table and there's literally just like food all over it from it just rolling all over the food that either I'm spilling or Sage is spilling. Let me bring you a little closer. All right, I'm finally doing the pregnancy Q&A that I've been putting off forever. Sage is sleeping. We just got back from running a bunch of errands for the last like 3.5 hours, just like knocking stuff off my list that I've been meaning to do for so long, so that felt really good. I'm tired, but I was like, okay, wait, I should film this. So I threw together some food, so I'm gonna do 2 things at the same time and try not to like chew in your face, but also like I need to eat food right now. Oh my gosh. I just made some green beans with just a little bit of salt, some garlic powder, and just topped some sesame seeds on there because that just felt fun. All right, I just went through like 2 minutes ago and just screenshotted all of the questions, so I haven't like looked through all of them, like think through my answers. So it's gonna be more of like a rapid fire because I just figured that's just gonna be easier to do instead of sitting down and like really writing out my thoughts or anything before answering. That would definitely be more thorough, but I don't have time for that. And I feel like rapid fire might be more fun. I say rapid fire and then I'll probably end up expanding on things. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna eat this bite because that's so annoying when you're watching somebody and you're like, can you take the drink? Can you eat the bite, please? So. My back is hurting so bad. Sorry, I'm gonna be bouncing around and like moving, so hopefully that's not super annoying to watch, but I literally have to right now. My back is hurting, my hip is hurting. It's a whole thing. One of the main questions is the name and hinting about the name. So I did mention this in my last pregnancy update video. I will talk about it here. Yeah, we have decided on her name. I'd say about 99% sure. I'm 100%, but Clark keeps going back and forth of if he feels like that's her name or not. And I mean, not that I want to just take his opinion with a grain of salt because he's the father, okay? And he's my beloved husband, but his taste is just not mine. It's just not hitting right. He'll say certain things, I'm like, do you know who I am? Like, I would never choose that name for my kid. Like, and there's a lot of names that I like, but I wouldn't use myself. You know what I mean? Do you feel that way? It just doesn't feel right or just doesn't hit right with like who you are, your style or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna say yes, we have picked out her name. He loved it like 2 days ago and then like yesterday was like, I don't know, should we think of more? I think he's just not wanting to commit to one name so like early on, even though I'm about to be in the 3rd trimester. So it's like, we kind of gotta, not that we have to lock it down, we could wait till literally after she's born, but names are very, very important to me and I'm very particular. And anyway, I feel like I know what her name is. We had a name picked out for a boy that I was like, if we have a boy, we both were like, this is his name. And it can be used for a boy or a girl. So then when we were finding we were having a girl, we're like, we'll just use that name because we still love the name. As time went on, I was like, that is not her name. She does not feel like she fits that. Like that is just like not her. And then this other name came to me. I think it was like a couple years ago that I heard. It's never been on my main list of names. And I thought about it recently and was like, that's her name. Like that is her name. And it just, I like sat on it because at the very beginning I wasn't sure. And then I sat on it because it was like the number 2 name. It's like, oh my gosh, that is so her name. And then also people asked if we were sticking with the same kind of theme as Sage. And I don't really know what that means. Maybe like the same kind of style, which again, I don't really know what that exactly is gonna be. Like, I'm not gonna name her like another herb or color. I guess I can hint that. As far as spelling goes, there's like 3 different ways we could spell it, but I do like the 4-letter thing. Not that I have to do that, but I like that. I like the simplicity of it. I think we'll choose a spelling that is 4 letters. So those are all the hints that I'm giving right now. And then another big one people are asking is, am I having a home birth? Am I having a natural birth? What's my birth plan and all the things. And I know I'm sitting here doing a Q&A, so the point is to like answer those questions. However, I feel some kind of way talking about my plan because of the experience that I had with Sage. I planned a natural birth. I had all the things in line to make that happen. I was gonna have her at the hospital, but I was at a hospital that was, you know, used to having natural births and stuff like that. And I didn't want to be induced. I had to be induced. It was a whole pressure thing. First baby, fear tactics, all these different things. It ended up not being really necessary, but I didn't know that in the moment. So first of all, I've learned a lot more about labor, delivery, physiological birth, and I have my own experience to go off of. So I know that birth can be extremely unpredictable. Like, I'm highly aware of that. So I don't feel like I want to say right now what my birth plan is. I'm happy to talk about it later, however it all turns out. I just think I want to keep it close to my chest because there's like a sense of like pressure with it. And this is like not on anyone else giving me that pressure. It's like, for me, I'm the one who has to go through this. So like, I kind of just want to keep it private until it happens, or however it turns out to happen. I'll share that. So yeah, ideally I have some stuff that I would like to have happen. There's things that I am prepping for, which I hate not really talking about or sharing, but I definitely can talk about it later. And I am planning on filming it and everything and sharing that if I want to at that point, but I'm definitely gonna do it at least for us to have, but I probably will have a birth vlog, hopefully. Hopefully it all works out to where I can do that, but I'll share all of that if I like feel comfortable and everything with it. But yeah, I know that's kind of an annoying answer, but I just don't want to be like, yes, I'm doing this. No, I'm not doing that, when I know birth can be unpredictable. Even though I have very strong feelings about it and like what I want and what I want to do and everything, I just don't feel like sharing it right now is good for me and my mental state before I have this baby, you know? But then the other part of this question was, what are you doing to prep for birth this time around, physically and mentally? So the second time around is different because I've done it before. So there's like a sense of confidence, I feel like, that naturally comes. And it could go the other way to where it's like, you know what to expect. So it can be like, oh my God, I know what to expect, especially after having the experience that I did having Sage. But honestly, I really do have a sense of peace about it and confidence, and just knowing that my body has done it before is like such a huge thing that is just helping me mentally so much. As far as like tangible things that I'm doing, is it Ina May or Ina May? I don't know. Ina May? What is it called? Ina May's Guide to Childbirth, or whatever the title actually is, I don't remember. But I started listening to that pretty early on in my pregnancy. I'm gonna really amp things up in the 3rd trimester for sure, but I have been doing that for my just like mental state. I also have been doing the Christian hypnobirthing app. I've really been enjoying that. They say usually it's around like when you're in the 30s kind of thing, is to start listening to it a lot when you are going to sleep. And I was talking to my midwife about it. I'm like, I've put it on and I just fall asleep. Like, I don't even, like, I feel like I'm not getting anything out of it. And she's like, you actually are, because it's subconsciously, it's getting put in you. And also, you're supposed to listen to it at night on purpose, because you typically will fall asleep listening to it, and that just like trains your brain when you're hearing it that you're relaxed and you go into a peaceful state. And I was like, that's actually very smart. I do have the birth course from the Christian hypnobirthing site that I am gonna do. I have not done it yet, and I did not do a birth course with Sage. I really wanted to do pain-free birth, but honestly, just right now, I don't want to spend the money. And then physically, I just did a lot of yoga and Pilates. I say a lot. I did yoga and Pilates with Sage, like towards the middle to the end, and it wasn't a lot, wasn't consistent. I had my online thing that I was doing, so I kind of was like teaching it a lot, but I wasn't actually practicing as much as I wanted to. And it was so hit or miss. I wasn't consistent with anything. I really wanted to start working out at the beginning of this pregnancy, but I was so sick, you guys know, that I actually couldn't. That was the absolute last thing I wanted to do. And some people say like, just push through it, it makes you feel better. I was not in a place where I could even push through to make it better. I was so sick. I was sick until about like 18 weeks, I'm pretty sure it was. So after that, once I started feeling better, I'm like, now I have to start like being consistent with something. There's something about like going and working out that is just like motivating, and having like a teacher like tell you what to do. You know, I have the knowledge of doing yoga and Pilates, being a teacher for so many years. I can do this stuff at home, but to be diligent and actually be consistent and do it at home, I'm not doing, because I have everything else in the world. I'll like look around and be like, oh, this needs cleaned, or I need to be on my computer, I need to film, I need to edit during nap time. It's just being in my own space sounds nice and cozy, and I typically would love that, but it just hasn't worked. But then I don't have any kind of childcare, so I'm like, well, what am I freaking supposed to do? But then we found a burn boot camp that's near us, and they have childcare, which should be the standard across the board for like all gyms or studios or whatever. So Clark and I were like, let's sign up. We're gonna commit to it. First of all, it's super close, which is very convenient. Convenience is everything. And the main thing is there's childcare. So I literally can go to a workout class, bring Sage with me. She knows I'm right there. I feel comfortable because I know she's right there. Not paying a babysitter to go work out. Like, it really, truly has been such a blessing. I've been doing it like a few times a week. Last week, I think I did it like once. This week, I've done it once so far. I'll probably do it again. So I'm at least trying to be like consistent because I'm accountable to a membership that I'm paying for. So that has definitely been different. And the style of workout, like yoga and Pilates is like my thing. I like love that so much, but I also kind of miss like the more strength training kind of thing. It's definitely more challenging, but I naturally am someone who likes those kind of workouts. That feels good to me to do, except my body, I can tell. I'm like, okay, I need to be more gentle on myself and not do as high of a weight or something like that because I hurt my knee a couple weeks ago. Sometimes after class, I'll feel like my core is like strained and I'm like, this probably is not good. Even though I'm modifying and the teachers are great, they're like helping me in every station with like modifications and stuff. So anyway, working out like that has been definitely different this pregnancy because I really do want my body to have stamina and be strong and just be able to endure labor and delivery because I don't know how long it's gonna be and I just wanna feel so good in this pregnancy to be able to pop this baby out. And I feel like I'm pretty strong right now actually, which is a good feeling. How is Sage adapting knowing that there is gonna be a baby soon? Any regressions? Guys, Sage is such a wise 2-year-old, I will say. She knows and has totally made the connection. She's highly aware of what's gonna happen as much as her 2-year-old little brain, can, but she talks about it all the time. She is naturally very nurturing, like she's that way towards me. She's like very sweet and like delicate if I don't feel good or just about how I'm feeling, and just like she's very in tune with my emotions. And I talk to her a lot about everything. She hasn't had any signs of like jealousy or anything. I did open a box of clothes that I got in the mail for them yesterday and I was going through it all. And I was like, I got you, maybe sis, some stuff, like let's go through it. And every single one that I opened, she was like, is that for me? And I'd be like, oh, this one's for the baby. Then I open up another one and she's like, is that one for me? And I'm like, this one's for baby sis. And I was like trying to like, be like, but look, this one's for you too. And she wasn't acting sad or anything, but that was one little thing I noticed, like, is that for me or, just for the baby or whatever. It could have been completely like nothing, but I was mindful of it in that moment of just being like, look, you and Sissy can match and like whatever. So anyway, to answer the question, yes, she's highly aware. No, there's not been any regressions, but I think that is common to come later. But I just really feel like she is gonna do so well. She loves her baby dolls. She nurses her baby dolls. She talks about it all the time. She talks about this baby all the time. Like, constantly talking about it in such like a happy, positive way. And obviously the baby's not here and we don't know what that reality is like yet. She doesn't know what that reality is yet. So I'm sure we're gonna have our obstacles with that, but I am being very mindful of not saying things like, oh, we can't do that because mommy has to nurse the baby, or like, I can't do that because we'll have the baby. I'm trying not to put any kind of blame on the baby, but any reasoning for me not being able to do something on the baby, which is going to be what is happening. Like, there's gonna be a lot of things I can't do because I'm having to take care of the baby or nurse the baby or whatever. I'll be mindful with that as much as I can with the baby in my belly, but when the baby's here, I'm gonna try to be really good about not saying things that's gonna make her resent the baby and that the baby gets mommy and she doesn't get mommy kind of thing, because she is very attached to me. She's very much like a mommy's girl. So that I think is gonna be our biggest hurdle to figure out, especially when it's just me and the girls here when Clark goes back to work and my mom goes home and I'm not having any help really anymore. I think that will be hard, but I know I can do it. Ask me that question in a few months and we'll see how it's going. Someone said, clothing. What clothing have you been loving so far this pregnancy? I'm currently going into week 19, so I'm curious. Well, congratulations. Clothes, I feel like being pregnant in the summer is a whole thing because it's hot. At least in the South where I'm at, it's freaking hot. But I like being able just to wear dresses, but I love being able to wear less while pregnant, and just obviously I'm just like letting the belly hang out as much as I can. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I probably shouldn't show my belly, but whatever. I've just really been embracing the belly, honestly, and just like letting it hang out a lot more, but just wearing less. I have a few pairs of just black biker shorts that I've been wearing a lot that just feels like easy to throw on with like a tank top like this or something. Dresses I feel like aren't super convenient to be wearing when I'm just around the house. I don't know why. You would think that'd be super comfortable and just easy and whatever, but for some reason I want to have like shorts or pants on when I'm home. Yeah, just a lot of like really comfortable shorts and like a sports bra or a tank top like this. Tank tops I feel like have just been really easy, and these shorts are from a linen set from Amazon that has like the button down top to it or whatever. That's what I wore today. Or like jumpers, jumpsuit or jumpers, what are those called? Like the one piece things, but the looser ones are really nice. I have one from Urban Outfitters and then also one from Packed, and those are really comfortable just to throw on. But then it's harder when you have to pee, you have to take the whole thing down or whatever. Convenience is everything to me. These sweatpants that I got from Target, I've been living in when I'm home. They are the most comfortable, wide-legged, soft sweatpants. I'll link a couple of my favorite things that I've been wearing below for you, but I wear those sweatpants probably every single day. I have 2 different colors and I just switch between wearing those. Comfort is everything to me. So I guess to answer your question, what I really am wearing every single day, a pair of black biker shorts and a comfortable tank top. Found a comfortable bra from Amazon that I've been living in because I feel like everything makes me feel like I'm suffocated. I'm wearing it now and I will link that below because that has saved me in a lot of ways of just like throwing that on with the tank top and not feeling like I can't breathe. I'll link that below. But yeah, the sweatpants, a tank top, biker shorts, tank top. Yeah, that's it, girlfriend. I knew I was gonna do this. This is not rapid fire. I've answered like 3 things. How are you prepping for the 4th trimester? Anything that you'll do differently this time around? Okay, so last time postpartum felt pretty rough. I had an episiotomy, I got cut twice, had stitches, and I also tore on top of that. I struggled with pain down there for like 3 weeks, where I would just be sitting and like shift and like the stitch would like pull or felt like it was ripping, and that just felt really, really uncomfortable. If I didn't have that, I think my recovery would have been a lot better. So I'm really praying this time that I do not have that happen to me. But now that I've had the experience of postpartum, this time around, I definitely want to prep and plan more freezer meals. We have a deep freezer now. We did not have that when we had Sage. So now I have more space and room to put some meals aside. I did not have a meal train and I did not have anyone bring me meals postpartum. My mom was here for like a week or so, and then she had to go be with my sister because my sister had a baby, so she was kind of back and forth a little bit, and she cooked for me the entire time she was here, so like that is a huge blessing. But besides that, when she was not here, we didn't have anyone bring us any meals, and that I feel like is so crucial. Like if you know someone that's having a baby and you live by them, or you can send them a gift card or send them like Uber Eats or something, that is so helpful when you have a baby, is to have food prepared for you, because you want to eat all the time, especially if you're breastfeeding. Like I just felt like a college man just like needing food constantly, and then it's the last thing you want to think about, and then you don't want to put a lot of time into cooking because you don't really have a lot of time, but then you want to have nourishing meals that's like healthy for you and your baby, but then and for healing, but it's hard to put energy in thought like into that. This time around, in case people don't bring us meals or anything, I'm gonna just prep more myself and put them in the deep freezer and just have like soups and curries and just like, I don't know, really filling, nourishing meals just to whip out and I even think about. And yeah, also just knowing how postpartum is. Like I had postpartum anxiety, not so much like right away. It kind of developed over like several months, probably like the worst within the first year of having Sage. And I didn't even recognize it. I don't even think while I was in it until I was like really, really in it. But now again, that confidence that comes, I'm just like, okay, I know what to expect. I know how long I'm gonna bleed. I know the swelling is normal. Like I know what's normal now. So it's not gonna like freak me out or like scare me or just be like, what is happening in my body? Like this time around, I'm just gonna be like, I just know now that it's just normal and it doesn't feel so like overwhelming that it's like, what is happening to me right now. I did have my postpartum little basket set up, all the like personal care stuff. I'm gonna do that again, probably in the next like probably the next month or so, I'll start to get that basket together. But something different that I'm gonna be doing is ordering organic nursing bras, organic underwear, like the boxer brief kind of underwear things. I feel like I will just live in those when I'm home and just like around the house. But this time I'm just more mindful of materials that I'm using. I'm more particular about using organic stuff versus not. So any of like the pads I get, the diapers I get, just all the personal care stuff, I'm just gonna make sure it really is chemical free and I'm not putting that up against parts of my body that need to heal and parts that are gonna be touching my baby. So that I feel like is gonna be different this time around. I'll definitely share everything that I buy and that I get. The first time around, I really wanted to not have a lot of people come by and just like be in our own little bubble for as long as possible. I feel like I didn't really follow through or have strong boundaries with that. I kind of was just like, yeah, they can come over. Yeah, they can come over. Yeah, they can see the baby, whatever. I'm just like you're excited for the people you love in your life to meet your baby, but there's gonna be the rest of time for them to come meet your baby. The newborn bubble is so precious and so short. It's like, just take as much time as you want for yourself. So I'm gonna definitely have stronger boundaries, I think, this time around, and maybe ask for help more. I'm not someone to ask for help like literally ever, but I think that if someone is gonna come to me or text me or something, be like, hey, how are you doing? Is there anything I can do for you? I might be like, yeah, actually, and whatever that may be. I just need to be better at being like, yes, I do need help, or this would be really helpful if you could do this, which is gonna be really hard for me. But this time around, I wanna be better at being like, yes, because I'm gonna have my hands full even more than just with one. There's this postpartum rule that I really like that is 5 days in the bed, 5 days on the bed, and 5 days near the bed for postpartum. So it's like you have your baby and just like be in bed with your baby for the 5 days. And then it's like, okay, on the bed. So you're not like, not that you can't get in the bed, but you know what I mean? It's just kind of like giving you an idea of like, okay, still being in your bedroom and like cozy and all the things, and then near the bed where it's like, okay, if I need to lay down, I'm gonna go do that. I like that little system. I might try to follow that, but I'm just gonna rest more, not put this pressure on myself that I need to like go on a walk right away and all the things. Like the first walk I took, I'm like, this is terrible. Like I was in so much pain. The pressure was so bad, but I'm like, oh, but I'm supposed to be able to like go on a walk right now and feel good. And like, why are other people being able to do this and I am struggling? It's because I was literally torn and cut down there, and like, what do you expect? I'm gonna give myself more grace this time around and just rest even more, because it's like I have the rest of time to be running around with 2 kids and be busy and whatever. So I'm gonna enjoy the month that Clark has off. I'm gonna enjoy the time that my mom is here and just really, really lean into it this time, especially when I do have help that first month. I'm gonna have a toddler running around who wants me all the time, but if she has Clark and my mom, she'll be occupied and happy and all the things. So I'm just gonna try to sleep as much as I can and just bond with the baby. Other thing is I'll probably have cleaners come right before and then like during the very fresh postpartum phase. I did not do that last time, but I think that will be so helpful and definitely an area that I am willing to spend the money in, because I like a clean space and I just feel like that will make my heart so happy. We were having them come to the house like once a month for like several months, but then we just decided to cut that out recently, just trying to be smart about our budget and everything. But I'll definitely bring that back in during the early postpartum phase. I already talked about this pretty much, but someone said, what are you doing intentionally to prepare Sage for the new baby? What are you purposely saying and not saying? So I already said like what I'm not saying, and I kind of did say what I am saying because I talk about it a lot with her. She's like highly communicative and aware of the situation. Something that I didn't say this, when the baby's here, I'm definitely gonna have Sage be my little helper. She loves to help around the house and do things, and I think children find like purpose and pride and like importance in that kind of thing. So I plan to have the baby stuff like at her level, so I can be like, all right, Sage, you can go get a diaper, you can go get some wipes, can you go grab this for mommy? Or she's definitely a kid that is like willing and likes to help and do that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that that translates when the baby's here. I think she will, because I want to make her a part of the experience and not just like, mommy and the baby are doing this thing, I need you to go do this, and like whatever. I want her to feel very, very involved. We are a team, we work together, and that's how we talk to her like here with like little things I'm doing around the house, and like she just is very helpful. So I'm hoping that she's that way when the baby's here, because that's gonna include her and also help me out a little bit. Have I had any migraines during this pregnancy? Unfortunately, yes, I did not with Sage. Had maybe a couple or something, I don't remember, but this time I definitely have had way more, and that's just very unfortunate for me, and that's all I'll say. What diaper brand do we like? Coterie is a really good brand. It is like so absorbent. I feel like they are such good diapers. So we loved them, but then we did switch to Diaper, the D-Y-P-E-R diaper. I feel like the diaper brand is cleaner than Coterie. Coterie is still free of like harsh chemicals and stuff like that. So I'm not like opposed to Coterie at all. They're great diapers. I think diaper is the way to go. Tried cloth diapering for like a second with Sage. And I was like, I think this is one area that I'm just not gonna. Okay, the camera just died and I just charged it for like 5 minutes. So I'm hoping that that can get me through. Okay, I need to be quicker about this. I knew I was gonna do this. As far as wipes go, we use water wipes, which I've read different things about because of the, what is it, grapeseed extract, I think that's in it. What is it? Something like that. There's different things on that because it's a preservative, but it doesn't seem like it's as bad as the other one. So I don't know. That's the one that I've landed on for right now. It could possibly change, but we use diaper brand and then water wipes. Am I having a plant-based pregnancy again this time? Yes, I'm still plant-based. This September is 12 years, and that never changed when I got pregnant. I knew that I could have a thriving, healthy pregnancy and healthy baby. Done it before, doing it again this time. So yes, this is a plant-based pregnancy as well. Something I am doing differently though this time around is, I don't even know if I should say this, but as far as prenatals go, like with my first, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to take the right amount every single day. I have to take my vitamins and blah, blah, blah. Well, yes, your body needs the nutrients that it needs to build a healthy growing baby. But this time I started taking a different prenatal, and I went through that bottle, and then I had just more information that I learned about certain things and whatever. I can get all this through food and some supplementation. That's something I've definitely done differently. I have a little smoothie concoction that I've been making that is coconut water, banana, spirulina, barley juice powder, B12, micro C blend that has a lot of other stuff in it like magnesium and whatever. And I did just order some iodine. I might get a little bit of that to start implementing. Just been making that because spirulina and barley grass juice powder are so powerful and good for you and your body. I have a lot of information on that. I'll link some of that below if you're interested in looking at that. But yeah, that's something I've definitely been doing differently and actually feel so much better about it. Dang, this is gonna die again. Ugh. For vegan snacks, I have just been loving a lot of fresh fruit, or I'll do like dried fruit, like dried jackfruit or dried mango. Fresh fruit has just been so good. Apples and peanut butter has been good to me lately. What else? When I had like 2 weeks of candy cravings, I would do a lot of Smart Sweets. Loved having some of the candy at night. That was good. What else? I feel like there's not any other like go-to. Okay, my camera just died again and I do not have time to wait for the battery pack to charge. So I'm gonna do it on my phone. So the audio is gonna be different. The image is gonna look different. We have to accomplish this while sis is sleeping. Oh my gosh, Nala, you need help? There's so much that I still want to talk about. Okay, someone asked, are you doing any ultrasounds this pregnancy with your midwife? And the answer is no, not with my midwife. I did one at like a special like one-off place that you just make an appointment to. I did the anatomy scan because I did want that peace of mind to make sure everything was fine. And I really wanted to know the gender. If you're the person that waits till birth, that's incredible. I know people say it's like the best feeling and the best surprise ever. I don't think I'm ever gonna be that girl. So really I wanted to just avoid all ultrasounds because I just didn't want to expose myself and my baby to radiation. I think that it's kind of overdone. And of course that's gonna be different for everyone if you have a high risk pregnancy or whatever else. People may feel like comfortable doing that, but I just didn't want to do that. Thankfully, I'm having a healthy pregnancy and everything's okay, and I got to see that on the anatomy scan. So yeah, I didn't have to do the anatomy scan, but I wanted to. So I don't know if that sounds hypocritical that I'm like, oh, I don't want any, but then I did one. I wanted to do just that one and felt comfortable doing that. Yeah, I just wanted to go more like old school as possible this time around. Probably like the biggest thing so far that's been different this time around is the prenatal care that I'm getting. So I was at a midwifery when I was pregnant with Sage, and there were like 3 or so midwives and then an OB in the practice as well. I liked that because I was like, I have my midwife that's more like natural minded, then I have the OB in case like that's necessary. Like that made me feel comfortable. This time around, I only using one midwife. I go to her house when I have my appointments, which is so nice when you have a toddler too. I'm not driving downtown. It's so convenient and it feels so much more laid back. It feels so much more comfortable. I get to really take the bull by the horns and like make the decisions, but I also have her as the professional to like guide me, and she can answer any questions that I have, but she really lets the moms just kind of do and not do what they want to do and what they don't want to do. And I just feel really, really good about that. And I feel more comfortable with that. I feel like there's less pressure. And everyone's different. Some people will be like, you are crazy. That does not sound fun. Like I want to go to a doctor's office. But for me, I'm like, I don't want to do that. So, and then at 36 weeks, she's going to start coming to my house for the weekly appointments. So that's going to be so nice to like not even leave my house, be super pregnant, have Sage here and just like have her come and just be here and check me and the baby. And yeah, so I'm really excited about that. So this prenatal care has just been so different and so much better in my opinion. I'm hoping that the anatomy scan was the only ultrasound that I have to do. But I know things can be unpredictable. If something starts to come up or whatever the reason may be, like, and I have to go get one, like, that's fine. Like, I want to do what's best. And I really am just like leaning into my intuition and also just letting go of control, but then also controlling the things that I can control and that is not in someone else's hands to control, you know? Also a question with that is, how does it work with the midwife? Like, do they take insurance? Do they not? Without going into a huge tangent on that, I am able to, from what I know right now, I'm able to submit everything to my insurance company because we have insurance, but it isn't like through insurance. The prenatal care part is like not through insurance. So everything that I'm paying her is out of pocket. And also for my doula, which I haven't answered that. Yes, I'm having a doula. I'm having the same person. Well, there's 2 girls that do it, so I don't know who's gonna be on call, but I'm using the same people from last time. So I'm paying that all out of pocket, but to my knowledge, I've been told I can submit everything to my insurance company and maybe they will reimburse me. But I'm not gonna hold my breath because I doubt they're going to reimburse me. Maybe they will. Basically, I'm planning to pay everything out of pocket. Our hospital bill with Sage was like $55,000. Thankfully, we had insurance and owed like $6,000, but like, that's crazy. Okay, I'm hoping that I answered enough. I need to stop this because I have no idea how long it's gonna be at this point. I hope that I answered enough, and I also know that I didn't answer what people were asking as far as like exactly what I'm planning to do for the birth, but I will share all of that later. Whatever happens, however things turn out. Anyway, thanks for understanding all of that. I know I've been doing a lot of sit down chats. Let me know if you like that or not. I know you guys also love vlogs and I just haven't done so many of them because I've had so many like sit down chat things to do. So more of those are coming. Let me know what specific vlogs you would like. I would like to kind of tailor them more to like a specific theme instead of just being like super random like they've been lately. I'm like throwing stuff together. I'm like, is this interesting? I'm thinking of maybe doing like an unfiltered day in the life with a toddler and being pregnant, just like having the camera around and having like raw audio, like not a lot of editing to it and just like super in the moment stuff. And just if that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know. Maybe I'll do some like nesting ones, preparing for baby ones. I don't know, something like that. Thank you guys for being here and I will talk to you soon. Bye.